Morning, this is Azortharion. I thought I would record one of those videos where people open their vaults and they talk a bit about their choices. I'm a little bit late to the party on this one. But yeah, so the status is I'm currently, just on the surface of 483 eye level. I have messed up some of my quests, but hopefully maybe the vault gods will shine upon me and rectify some of my mistakes. The main thing I would like at the moment are just like +6 eye level on my trinkets, so mythic track like branch pips would be nice. But I would also not mind some 489 baseline tier items here. And so as we can see in my vault, and it doesn't really show it now, but basically I did 7 out of 9 mythic this week, so there will be a full mythic vault with some potentially good stuff in there. And then there will obviously be our 820s of Mythic Plus. This will be our final re-clear before we head back into Tindril, extending this week because we're a 2-day raiding guild only. So it'll be interesting to see what we get from our very last raid vault of Prague. So yeah, without further ado, let's see what we got. Let me just double check my loot spec here. Not that I would have set it to survival for any good reason. Alright, here we are. Okay, so we did get a 489 tier piece, however, it does not have a socket on it, which I was really hoping for. So currently I'm running this off piece, which has a socket in it. So normally, like if you wanted an off piece, you would run some gloves for BM. Although in the overall biz list, actually 5 pieces basically just equal, because eventually you just hit DR on both crit, haste, and mastery, and then it's like, oh, well, suddenly versatility is a completely fine stat. So let's just eliminate. Okay, so we got 10 eye level on a cloak here, which is nice. That saves us some crest, but it does drop some avoidance. And eye level on cloak is generally not super valuable. So, we might pick this, we might not. Then there's obviously 6 eye level on a tier helm here, and that would allow us to equip some different gloves from Mythic Plus with some different stats. So that has some value, but we do lose a socket, and losing sockets is sad. Now, there's also this, but that only saves us 15 crest, because I actually already have some mythic tier things here, and I have tons of catalyst charges saved up. And obviously this week is one in which you get a catalyst charge. The boots we're just not interested in, because we already have mythic track. This cloak, I mean, it does have avoidance, but it's high versatility. I mean, maybe I would send I would need to check. And in fact, let's just check that right now. Let me see here. Clearly didn't prepare well enough for this. Let's see if I can make this show up. There we go. Alright, so what I was thinking is if we... What are tiers called? Blazing Dreamstalker. And I was just gonna check what the actual cloak has for eye levels. So we find back right here. It's high haste, low verse. I mean, I think that's kind of fine. And we do get the versatility, but we lose 15 crests. We do get the avoidance, but we do lose 15 crests worth of upgrades, which I think I'd have to prioritize, especially given this is my last chance to pick it up. So, I think I will have to ask the sims about this. Now, I'm going to be simming for, so normally when you would sim your vault, you'd probably do so in a single target build. But I'm going to do so in my Tindril build, because that is... so the remaining bosses are Tindril, which is kind of an AoE build fight for me. And then the last boss, Fire Egg, is kind of a hybrid, so you're mostly playing single target. I kind of want to hit at something on both, so I'm just going to sim an AoE build that's also going to be relevant for Mythic Plus post here. And I'm just going to sim on an MDT sim, so let's bring up this again. Head over to raid bots. And as you can see, as long as we open the SimC window, let me just make sure this works properly. Curious why it doesn't change. Let's see. All right. Well, let me just close Chrome. Then we'll try once more. There we go. All right. We hit up raid bots. Drop in our character. And as you can see, as long as we open the SimC window with our vault having been opened, we can actually, check this stuff out. I can put in 2 catalyst charges. Do I have 3 at this point? I think I might, well, let's just, I don't think we'll need more than 2 in either case. Can lock in the 4-piece here. And what we can also do is, since we know that we're going to be upgrading quite a bit potentially, we can just add the crests that we expect to have in this breakdown here. So right now I'm obviously down to 0 aspect crest, but after some farming I can be at 90. And I'm completely past the point of caring about worm crest, that's why it's not appearing here. I actually have a spark in reserve as well, but that's because like I can't really gain any eye level with it, unless I was to spend aspect crafts doing so, which I might do, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that's about it. So let's see, maybe if this would be good. And yeah, that wouldn't require any upgrades, so that's decent. This cannot be upgraded further. If we were to grab this, or potentially upgrade it, or if we were to just... nah, that's actually the same thing. Well, actually, so this will take a great vault slot, but this might not. So let's just include, like, let's see if we catalyst this that we have in our bags, and upgrade it to these 2 steps. So the only difference between this is like, so one is like a great vault piece, which means it is not mutually exclusive with this, and the other is not a great vault piece. Let's include this cloak. Alright, that's pretty much so. These are some mythic track legs, I guess we can include those. These are actually some good legs in their own right, like they're some of the best legs you can get from Mythic Plus, but I'll also include the catalysted version of them. This is just kind of a, like, okay, what if we just send +3 here? The stats are totally fine, so we're not concerned about that. Okay, what if we were to upgrade this? And then I'll show you this after, actually. But let's just start with this. Pretty happy with everything else. Log in the individual enchants. Now we can actually add the helm enchant this week. So I'm just going to add that to the sim. It's unlikely to have a big impact, but it might have some. And I like to just pick one enchant here. You could pick all the enchants, but you see, it very quickly accelerates the iterations needed. And all, like, stats are so close for BM that it really does not matter what enchant you pick. And so all you're doing if you're adding multiple here is you're just making the sim run way longer for no obvious reason. So same here, like, I pretty much know that I'll never have to craft gem for verse, so I'm just gonna pick all the non-verse gems. And also same thing here, like, just pick a meta gem, doesn't really matter which. As ticket to always use, and you're good to go. Now, we're currently simming an MDT's dungeon rat fortified from my Hunter Compendium, which you can find up here. If you're a sub, you can find it in my Discord. I'm gonna set my adaptive dragon skills period to 5, because that is what I use for raiding. If I was interested in Mythic Plus, I would probably set this to like 8 or 11. Like, I just have the commented lines here, so if I'm swapping between, I would just do like this. That's a convenient little tip. Make sure every buff is enabled. I'm only going to be progging and like doing hard content with the tepid verse file, so make sure, because this can actually influence like your stat decisions quite a bit. Alright, and with that out of the way, I think we're ready to run the sim. I'm not even going to include high precision because, well, partly because I'm recording a video, but also because the precision it adds is kind of meaningless to me, and it adds quite a bit of sim time. As you can see, it's like, it's twice as accurate, but 4 times as time consuming. Alright, so I'm gonna be back just after that sim runs. So yeah, BRB. Alright, I'm back. A little bit of a time skip there. So it looks like for the vault, it actually wants us to pick out the legs and then use our existing... So basically we have the crests to basically fully upgrade the legs that we got from the vault. And just to catalyst the existing shoulders that we have. And this is actually a pretty sizable upgrade. Then we can spend some leftover crests on upgrading these. I'm broadly pretty happy with that. There's some equal option here, which is upgrading the cloak. So if you have 2 equal options, a good way to sort of break the tie is to look for... Okay, well, firstly, would one be easier to play? So that would only affect like trinkets, because obviously regular items don't really affect, you know, how difficult it is to play. But the second thing would be, where are we gaining the most stamina? So in this case, it wants us to grab this higher level cloak, but that is a much smaller stamina upgrade than to grab some shoulders. So in this case, the highest simming option, although these are all within margin of error. So as you can see, there's basically, there's 2 pieces that would be within margin of error to pick from the vault, but one is a highest stamina upgrade, so that is the one we're gonna be defaulting to. Yeah, so broadly happy with this vault. I mean, we pick up a high budget piece on Mythic Track. I might hold off on it and not pick yet, though. I'll have to look into sort of... like, if anything else I could get would change something here, like from Heroic or something, but that's highly unlikely at this point. And obviously we're not re-clearing, so there's nothing there that would supersede this. And it's not every day you get a mythic track hero piece that you don't have to catalyst or anything. So yeah, I hope that helps you make your choices in your vault. Great luck in your vaults. And yeah, until next week, if I do one of these again, yeah, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.